Okay, so the purpose of this video is to try to help people who are going to have to re-image their computers if they have a only one drive and they want to remove it and put a different drive in for the second PC image that we're working with. So basically we're going to remove the hard drive from here that's in place and replace it with a second drive, and then we will image with the company software that we have, so that the second drive will have the new image on it, and then we can replace the original drive and keep using it. So when the time comes, you can cut over very easily. So with that, we're going to get started. I'm going to open up the base of this PC. This is an HP G3 ZBook 15, and it's the standard model that most of us are getting, developers. So we're going to take off the cover. There's the screwdriver is just a Torx screwdriver. I believe it's a number 8 Torx, and it fits these. We're also going to use it inside. So basically there's 9 screws. I'm not going to go through the motions of opening, doing all the screws. Leave the screws in there. You don't need to take them all the way out. The cover supports having them in there, so that it'll be easy not to lose them. Set the cover aside. And then you'll find in the open bottom there is a spot for 2 different drives. One is the SSD, and it's probably empty. And the other is where the hard drive is. It's underneath this assembly that is your smart card reader. So we're going to take off the smart card reader. It is again Torx T8, same size as the cover. There are 4 screws, and these 4 screws will also stay with the smart card reader. You don't have to worry about losing them. We'll simply loosen that. There's no reason to disconnect the smart card reader. All we're doing is moving it out of the way so we can get to the drive underneath. So we're going to remove this smart card reader. Just set it to the side. The cable reaches just fine. The part we're trying to get to is here. There are no more screws holding it in place. However, there is a connector. We're not going to disconnect it from the motherboard. What we're going to do is disconnect it from the drive itself. So we're going to open this up, and you'll find that it's got a connector here. You can kind of see where you can get your fingernail in and loosen that connector. So just unplug it from the SATA drive. All right, so inside this protective case is the existing hard drive that probably has your current company image on it that you don't want to lose. So you're going to protect this while we do the next step. So then basically what you have left here is there are 4 screws on the side for this device. At a later time, you're going to want to take this drive out when you cut over to your new build completely, and replace this drive with your new drive. So we're going to set this drive aside right now, and that is a clean drive that's ready to use. It will reboot on that drive the next time you start the machine when you're ready to use it. But for the time being, we're going to build a second drive. So this is the drive that you should be acquire, and you probably don't have one wherever you can get it. It's identical to the one that I have here. You can see that these 2 drives are it's easily accessible. You can get them on Amazon for about $50. It's a WD 5000 LPLX. It's a 500 gigabyte drive. Very important that you get this particular model, because the thickness matters here. You don't have a lot of space inside here with this smart card reader above. The screws won't tighten down properly if you put a drive that's too thick. So make sure your drive is something less than about 0.28 inches, or I think what works out to be 7 7 point some millimeters. Very small. This drive, you can just simply, you don't need to put the tray carrier back on because we're not going to keep it in the computer. We're just going to use it to build. So we're going to take this connector, and you can see it's just standard SATA connector. I'm going to plug that in. And this drive is now ready to use. So we can just kind of put it in there. It's easy to hold it in place with the smart card reader, which again is basically just here for you know, supporting and holding that down. We're not going to use it there for the whole time the machine is with it. When you replace it permanently with this one, we'll put everything back together properly. So for now, we're just going to put the screws in a little bit. Not going to bother tightening them up all the way. I just want this to stay in place when I put the cover back on and flip it over. So I'm going to put the cover back on because no reason to leave it off, and then stop the video.